Hello my friends, I'm Jana Eubank and I'm back with another Hip Kit Club layout featuring the Sunshine and Lemonade collection from the August 2023 Hip Kits. I'm also going to incorporate the stitching template that was included with the July embellishment kit. So at the first of this video, I'm going to go through and show you just some stitching ideas to use with this template. So if you're not interested in this part, you can skip to the 4-minute mark, but I just wanted to create a little sampler card to include with my stitching template just to remind me of all the different ways I can use this template. Now the template includes some arch shapes, a butterfly shape, and then a grid of dots so that you can pierce a straight line or you can pierce a grid and create your own cross stitch design. So for this part of the video, I'm just going to show you some different types of straight stitches that you can use on your layout. So the first one is just a dashed line where I've gone up and down every other hole, and then the second one was a back stitch. I can't talk today. So that one is where you saw how I did that, where you go up in the next hole and then move backwards, and there's probably better videos than mine, but hopefully that makes sense. The third one that I just did in the orange is kind of a long stitch. I think of this as like a country stitch, like a longer stitch and then a short space, longer stitch, short space. And how I created that was I just skipped a hole underneath the long stitch and then kept the regular spacing on the short spaces. The third, or the teal one that I just showed you there, is where you use a back stitch to create a zigzag pattern. So I'm just piercing the holes in the zigzag pattern and then using a back stitch to fill that in. I also did one that was a bit larger, and I really like stitches like this because it looks really cute in between two pattern papers. It almost adds like a quilted effect to your layout. This is another kind of stitch that you can use in between two pattern papers to kind of join them, quote unquote, together, and that's like a whip stitch. So I've just pierced 2 rows of holes and then just gone up them, as you can see there, inserting my needle in the 2 holes across from one another. Now here's another idea for that, is you can do that all the way up the page and then come back down the same holes in the same motion, and as you come back down you will create little X's. So that's another fun way to join 2 papers together. Now this last stitch that I'm showing you is a chain stitch, and this is where you, sorry about my cat's tail poking in there, this is where you leave a little loop of thread, and as you come up through the next hole you just insert your needle through that loop and then you go back down through the same hole, trapping that loop with your stitch as you go back down. So hopefully you'll get an idea of how to do that here in this video, but of course you can also, search that on YouTube, and there's probably slower videos for you to see those stitches. Now the last few stitches I wanted to show you were some stitches that you could do along the edge of a shape. So this one is just a whip stitch where you're going over the edge of the cardstock, and this gives it kind of a fun homespun look. This is a very similar stitch to that, but as before you come back up through the back edge of the cardstock, you're going to thread your needle through the thread, catching it so that it creates a line along the edge of the cardstock, and that is called a blanket stitch. So you can see the difference between those two. The whip stitch is on the left where you're not capturing the thread, and then the blanket stitch is on the right where you are capturing the thread and just creating an edge to that cardstock. So here I've trimmed up my little sample piece, and I'm going to add that inside my stitching template package so I can always remember these ideas. I hope that inspired you and gave you some ideas for different ways that you can use your July stitching template. But let's get into today's layout. Recently, my husband and I were traveling on a trip together, and we went through the Kansas City airport. Now, as you walk through airports, there's all kinds of cool artsy things on the walls and exhibits and things. And I noticed as we were checking in that there were thousands of these wind spinners dangling from the ceiling, one on top of another. And I thought, you know what, that would be a really fun idea to do on a scrapbook page. So when I came home and found this hexagon paper in the August kits, I thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut out all of these hexagons and line them up one on top of another and recreate this idea. Before I start doing that, part of the page though, I am going to add some stenciling to the background. This is the citrus stencil from the August color kit. I'm just using a brush and the squeezed lemonade distress oxide that also comes in the color kit to add some soft blending onto the background of this cloud white cardstock. So I'm making sure that I have a darker area, and then I'm kind of fading out as I go towards the edge, and that allows me to move this stencil and create a longer section of this stenciling. So I have that down and I'm ready to start adhering my hexagons. Now what I decided to do is I'm going to be adding a straight stitch down the center of these hexagons, and so I want them to be able to be loose on the edges. So I'm just adding a dab of glue to the top and bottom edges and then adhering these one on top of another as I had them laid out earlier. Now, one thing I wish I would have done is drawn a light pencil line to help me keep these straight, because as you see on this last row on the left hand side, it is a little bit crooked, and that's okay. I just run with it. It's glued down and that's all right. So I went ahead and glued these all in a row, and now I'm coming back in with lots more of these hexagons and I'm overlapping them on top. I just thought this was a fun twist to do with this idea. So there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just plopping them on there how I think it looks good. After I get these all glued into place, I will grab my stitching template and then pierce holes down the center of each row of these hexagons. Then I will come back in with some white thread, some embroidery floss. I used 3 strands of embroidery floss, but in retrospect, I wish I would have used all 6. The reason for that is the thickness of my particular needle was quite thick, and I think it would have filled the holes a lot better. And again, like I mentioned before, my hexagons did end up being a little crooked, and so what I ended up doing to try and mask that is coming back and piercing more lines in between each of those rows to kind of mask that a little bit. So after I have all of my hexagons stitched down, I'm just coming back and fluffing up the edges of my hexagons, almost like butterfly wings, just to give this part of the page a little bit of dimension. So now that those are done, I am ready to start designing my page. I'm going to add these 3 photos of my daughter on her 14th birthday over to the left-hand side of this paper. But I wanted something to ground these 3 photos, so I decided to cut this paper. This is called Orange You Cute, at an angle, a downhill angle, to anchor those. So I just measured and then placed the paper in my trimmer at an angle and made the cut. Now I'm just lining that edge with a pop of a bright color, which is actually the other side of the hexagon paper, and then I'm going to adhere that to the bottom of the page. You can see that I have 3 photos there. One of them in the center is larger, and then I have 2 slightly smaller photos. Those are smaller than 3 by 4. I think they're like 2.5 by 3.5, and then the smaller ones I've trimmed slightly. So as I've pick out my foam phrase sticker, I decide to move the largest photo to the left-hand side just to make sure that that foam phrase fits a little bit better. Now I picked out the foam phrase that says hip hip hooray because I thought that would be a great title for this birthday page. Now my idea for this layout was to keep the colors very simple and match with those hexagons. I was going to use only pink, citron, and black and white. But as I start playing with the embellishments, I seriously can't help myself. I start adding in all the colorful flowers, and I decided, you know what? I can't really keep this monochromatic. I just love all the colors in this kit too much. And so I just basically add a big color burst of fun to this bottom left corner of the page. You can see here in the beginning, I'm trying to keep it within that citron, pink, and black and white color, but as I find these butterflies and other things that I want to add to the page, like I mentioned, I just can't help myself. So I did use a little die cut frame, that citron colored frame, to add behind the top left corner of the first photo, just to emphasize that green color on that side of the page. And now I'm coming back in with chipboard pieces. The chipboard and the cardstock die cuts are both in the main kit, so lots of fun things to play with there. And so I'm just starting to play with the pieces and seeing where I want to add them. I found these 3 black and white stars that I thought I might add on top of the hexagons to add some black and white elements over to that side of the page, but I end up just sprinkling these above my title. Now I have that bike in the bottom left corner, and I do end up leaving that there, but as I'm playing with the different pieces, I decide to add in more color. This is where I do add in more colors, when I start playing with these flowers from the embellishment kit. These are the clear stickers, and they're actually printed on a vellum. So I did use a powder tool to take off the tackiness or the sticker part of the sticker on the back, and that allowed me to move these vellum pieces around and almost like a die cut. So I'm just using a little powder tool to, take off that tackiness of several of these floral stickers, and that allows me to move things around. So I have these 2 butterfly chipboard pieces that I'm going to sprinkle above my title along with the stars. You'll see how I arranged those. And then I'm just working with the flowers right now. I have 2 clusters of them on either side of the title at this point, and then I placed one to the left of the bicycle. I will come back and add another one, a third one behind the top edge of that title, just to make that feel a little more full. And then I will also add one to the bottom right cluster so that I have a visual triangle of those flower stickers. I had the bold black and white of the title, and I wanted to balance that in other areas of the page. So I did pull in this black and white speech bubble phrase from the chipboard pieces, and it has a little speech bubble tail on the bottom, but I just covered that with the sunflower. You could also just clip it off with some scissors, but the covering with this flower worked well as well. And so I placed that there with another flower cluster, and then I also added a die cut camera. So I really like the way that this page is looking, but I decided that it needed more black accents. So I went back to the clear stickers and I found these black circles. So I'm using my powder tool to take off the tackiness of the circle so that I can move them around. And I've decided to add a couple of them in the top right corner or top left corner of the photos, and then I added another one to the right side of the photos, kind of framing out that black and white speech bubble. I'm going to cut the heart one on the left side in half. I'll tuck a little piece under the left side of the photos, and then I add the second half of the piece at the bottom of the photos. And I really like how that ties everything together with the black color, and also the round circle shape keeps your eye bouncing around the layout. Okay, so at this point I had covered up a lot of my stenciling in the background, and I wanted some of that yellow to peek out at the top. So I'm coming back in with the stencil. I'm just using a piece of scratch white cardstock to, cover up the other elements, but I'm just adding in more of that yellow just to, connect everything together. And as it doesn't go right up to the edges of those flowers, but that's okay, because as I add these other chipboard pieces in, your eye isn't really noticing that. So I want to add my journaling to the left side of the page, but before I do that, I'm going to sprinkle in some of these black chipboard hearts, again, just to punctuate that black bold color that is going throughout the layout. I decided to print my journaling onto some vellum. That way I won't cover up the stenciling that I've done in the background. So I'm just going to trim this here and adhere this into place. Now, my video cuts out, but that's okay, because this really is the end of my layout. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this page and seeing all the different ways that you could use stitching on your layout. This is the August 2023 hip kits, but also I'm featuring the stitching template from the July 2023 embellishment kit. I hope you'll give this technique a try. My name is Jana Eubank for Hip Kit Club. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see you again soon.